Welcome back to another episode of the Popcorn King. So, today, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing a review of a little film that can only really be called Immaculate. So it's a horror film, it's got Sydney Sweeney in it, and I'm going to tell you what it's about. So the storyline is this. It's basically a girl decides to join a convent in Italy and become a nun in this convent. Is it called a convent? A convent. And, we as the audience sort of know from the beginning that once you're in this convent, there's a very high chance that you're never ever going to leave. And basically, she's there, she's American, so she's, fish out of water, completely in a new place, and she's becoming a nun. And after taking her vows, she realized she's become pregnant, but she hasn't had sex, so it's like immaculate. It's like, what is this? The next Jesus? There's a really crude line where they're like, whoa, her hymen was in place when we recruited her. She hasn't had sex while she's been here. So yeah, it's a bit icky, but a good horror film needs to be a little bit icky sometimes. So that's that. Sydney Sweeney's in it, like I said. I don't remember who directed it, but I will say this film, it starts off at like at 11, basically. Like, it starts off and you're like, okay, this is kind of freaky. As a good horror film, it makes you feel uncomfortable. But then it starts to level out a bit and you're like, okay, I've seen this before, basically. There's nothing new here. I like it. There's still some good jump scares and stuff, and I think it's well directed, but basically it's horror movie 101. I'm just used to it. But then it kind of starts to switch, and by the end it really goes down a route that I didn't expect it to go down, and it's really sort of off the charts, kind of going for something that you wouldn't expect this to go for. And the ending, like, I can't stop thinking about the ending. It's kind of crazy how this film ends. It's kind of like, ugh, I've got this sound in my ears that I can't sort of forget. I've got this image in my mind that I can't let go of. And yeah, I will say, for horror film, this is really good. I really rated this film. Sydney Sweeney is just blown up over the past few years. It kind of reminds me of when Florence Pugh did Midsommar. Like, oh, there's this actress in the process of blowing up, and then she's done a really good horror film as well. And it's like, oh yeah, they managed to get Florence Pugh just at the right time of her trajectory of fame, because now she's just going to be the lead in like Hollywood blockbusters forever, basically. And Sydney Sweeney is about to hit that point where she's just going to be the lead in Hollywood blockbusters. So if you want to get a really good actress who's really famous in a horror film, it's got to be at like this part of their career. And they got her perfectly, and they stuck her in a really good, decent horror film with like going down routes that you really don't expect it to go down. It doesn't just follow the actual the normal tropes that a film like this might go down. It goes down a slightly different way, and I really enjoyed it. I really rated it. I thought the acting was really good. Sydney Sweeney is actually an incredible actress, despite what I thought of her in that rom-com that I saw on Valentine's Day with an Italian lady. But I just think, she's as good as the filmmakers around her, and obviously the filmmakers around her in this are quite exceptional, to be honest with you. Italy's really scary because of the Vatican and all the religion and stuff and all the Catholicism, so it's just a great setting for a horror film. And I'm not bashing it. I grew up Catholic, mum was Catholic, so I'm not bashing it. I know the traditions, and I know the good side of that world, but I also think it's really kind of creepy, a lot of their ideas. And yeah, this film capitalizes on that. It capitalizes on what it means to have control over a woman's body. It brings up conversations about men really just putting their own sort of opinions and their own wants and their own sort of desires and making sure they control women. I don't really, I've never really understood why anyone would become a nun. It just feels like you're giving up your whole life to serve a man. But hey, you do you. That's fine. And this film just, it exploits that part of my mind that I'm kind of interested in. So I give this film a very high grade. Let's give it an A for a horror film. Let's give it an A. And I would definitely recommend this horror film. There's a few good horror films coming out at the moment, so I recommend this one. Go and watch it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button. I just want to watch a nice film about nuns getting pregnant without any sex involved. That's all I want. That's my porn.